Today we're going to make our single Nixie with the Delabar Farney Nixie tube. We're going to fix the time situation that it has. And the situation that it has is that anytime it is unplugged, it does not retain its time. My best guess is there's something wrong with the chip, because the little supercapacitor that is on board, it does hold voltage while it's running. So this supercapacitor right here does not hold, is holding a charge, but apparently the clock chip inside is not receiving, or there's something wrong with the chip that it's not keeping time. So even though the clock is not very hard to program to get the right time, is kind of annoying that, you know, if you do get that quick little power glitch, and they happen from time to time, that you'll have to go back and reset the clock. So kind of annoying. So in the earlier video, I got these PV Electronics Wi-Fi modules. So first thing we have to do is solder in the little audio or GPS jack to the board. So the in the package you get a board, you get the jack that you have to solder on. I believe this is a little piece of heat shrink, and then the cord that plugs into the clock. So the cord plugs into the clock just like that. So first thing we have to do is solder the little jack to the board, because it does not come pre-soldered. So we will go ahead and solder this to the board, and we'll get some little tools here to assist on holding it. So I have these little ceramic reverse tweezers that are excellent little clamps. Some people use blue tack. Some people just put one piece of solder on the on a pad and go ahead and, you know, do their thing. I like to make sure it don't move at all. And it's even more handy if you got like jittery fingers and you're like, I don't. I have pretty steady hands. Especially, you know, if you watch my earlier videos of building these things that, you know, under the camera, that, you know, I'm not. So we got one side soldered. Now we got 3 more little connections to solder up. Okay. Now that's set and done. So now the next step is you have to go through the settings of the clock and either set it up for GPS signal reception. You have to set the baud rate so it's 9600. These PV electronics, they don't have that setting, so all you have to set is the offset. So whatever your offset up, like for me, it's minus 5 hours for the time. So then the next thing we do is go ahead and have the clock powered off before you attempt to plug in the module. So we are plugged into the module, and now we will get a USB, your provided cord. And I actually have to get some more USB mini cords because I'm running out. Because I've had a few go bad for whatever reason. Because the one that runs that big thermometer, it actually went bad. And since hardly anything is USB-A or USB Mini anymore, they're a little hard to come by now. So because all you get is USB micros. So now we will go ahead and plug the clock in, and we have power to the board now. So now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go into the So now we will go to our smartphone after the module is powered up, and you'll be going to your Wi-Fi network setup page, and then we're going to look for the NTP app, and we're going to go ahead and select that. And then after it selects, it'll say it'll bring you automatically will bring you to this page, the configuration page, and we will go ahead and hit the configuration, and then you get this screen here with your SSID scan, and then your password for your Wi-Fi network, and then your NTP server. So we will go ahead and scan, and I will select my network, and then I will enter the password. And then for the NTP server, what they suggest to punch in is pool. So POOL dot NTP dot org. And of course, if you have a silly smartphone that auto corrects, you have to go back and force it to have what you want. So we have for the NTP server, we have pool, as in the pool, swimming pool or betting pool. So POOL dot NTP dot org, and then you'll go ahead and hit the save, and it says credentials saved. Trying to connect to NTP NTP to the network, give it 15 seconds or so. You will be redirected to the main page to check out how it went. The Nixie app network you are connected to, la la la, and then when it's all done, it'll bring you back to where you started. And then you just hit exit portal, and it says all the everything is saved, and then it brings you back to your normal Wi-Fi setup screen. So after that, then it says, now you are back at the landing page. Click exit portal. You must do this to save the settings. Now it says important. Now click. It says make sure you click the exit portal to close access point. The NTP sync device will reboot and attempt to connect to your Wi-Fi. And then it says for the status indicators, the green Wi-Fi, it is steady light. So that means the module is connected to your Wi-Fi router. Now if it was flashing, it's attempting to connect to your router. And the blue LED, if it's on steady, it says the module successfully contacted the NTP server. And it says if the blue light was flashing, the module is trying to contact the NTP server. And then we have a little data light that is currently not on. And it says if the data light is on steady, the module is in access point mode. And it says if the data is flashing, time data is being sent to the clock. And it says if you need to reset the module back into AP mode without erasing the stored Wi-Fi and server settings, press the button for 3 seconds. To reset the module completely and erase all stored Wi-Fi and server settings, power up while all 3 LEDs are lit. Press and hold the button for 3 seconds. And that's all it takes. Okay, now we're back. Now the clock has officially synchronized time. The current time is 1400 hours, 59 minutes. And as we can see on the clock here, it says 1, 4, 5, 9. 1400 hours and 59 minutes. And it's spot on with the NTP server. So there's a little guide on how to hook up your Wi-Fi module to your Nixie clock, if it's compatible with a Wi-Fi module or a GPS module with a 3.5mm jack on the back. So now that this clock is successfully upgraded now, I will be doing the same procedure for Nixie Clock Maestro. And that clock will be always synchronized with the world server, because with these clocks, when you set them up, they sometimes they have to be calibrated. So there are menus in these clocks in case your clock is running too slow or running too fast. You can adjust the time. The problem with that is you have to wait 5 days to see how far your seconds are. So sometimes it can take quite a bit of time because you're only adjusting your parameters by 0.2 of a second. So it takes a long time. So if you don't want to play with that, because you'd have to physically remember 5 days after you plugged it in and to synchronize the seconds, because sometimes these clocks, depending on the temperature and stuff like that, sometimes the crystals inside can run at a certain parameter where either the clock will run fast or the clock will run slow, and then after so many weeks the clock will be whatever minutes off, or if you don't pay attention to the clock a lot, and a couple of months down the line when you do change the clocks back, You're like, hey, this thing's like 5 minutes fast or 15 minutes slow or, whatever. So with the little Wi-Fi module, you don't have to worry about it. And in my case, if the power goes out, I don't have to worry about setting this clock anymore. So it'll always be synchronized. So just for the a little finale here, they give you this little plastic sheet. It does, I think it's heat shrink. It's not mentioned. So we will slip this over because we don't want to short anything in case anything, decides to fall on it. So we're going to test the theory if it's heat shrink with some fire. Yep, it is heat shrink. So we go ahead and shrink this up. There. Now it looks nice and professional. So that's that for this video. That takes care of this little segment of the video of nothingness, or whatever you want to call it. And we'll see you on the next video, and keep your clock synced. We'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.